Hello, YouTube. I'm Vince White. I'm an employment attorney, and on this channel, we answer publicly posted questions from YouTube users, getting folks the answers they need from an employment attorney. We have a question here from Luis Hernandez, GE7PP. YouTube user Luis Hernandez, who says, "Hi, Vince. I'm in Houston with an age discrimination charge. I'm going to mediation without a lawyer because I can't afford one after losing my job. Is this a bad idea?" Okay, Luis. So, listen, my standing advice is for mediation, if you can afford an attorney, have an attorney. I do provide one caveat to that, wherein it depends on what you're looking for and what you think the case is worth, right? If you're going to mediation and you're like, I really want 20 grand, then I would urge you maybe don't hire an attorney, because you're going to end up giving that attorney somewhere between 28 and 50%, depending on their contingency percentage of your settlement. And if you're getting 20 grand and you're giving them, 40%, you're giving them 8 grand. And I think you could probably achieve the 20 grand on your own. So I don't know that I would tell you to get an attorney in that circumstance. Now, I don't know what you're looking for from the age claim. If you're looking for 6 figures, I'm going to be super upfront with you. I think you should have an attorney. I think there's no question you should have an attorney at any mediation where you're hoping to hit anything close to even high 5 figures. I just don't think it's going to happen for a pro se litigant. I think that opposing counsel, the mediator, they tend to not take pro se litigants seriously, and the amount of money they would give you in settlement tends to be far, far lower. Also, and this is not a shot at you, Louis, I'm sure you're a very savvy gentleman, pro se litigants during mediation will often kind of reveal they don't understand their own case, and they don't really have the capability of bringing the case forward. This will embolden defense counsel and cause them to use smaller numbers during the settlement talks, because they don't really care if you go forward. They don't think you can, or if you do, they think you'll lose, and they think you'll lose rapidly before running up a lot of legal fees. So they feel very comfortable offering you chump change, right? That being said, I get it. You don't have the funds for an attorney, and you're in Houston, and for whatever reason, the attorneys you're talking to all need money up front, even though I would assume they're working primarily on a contingency basis, so primarily on a percentage of what they win for you. Or maybe not. Maybe you are only interested in attorneys that you pay hourly because you don't want to assign out a percentage of your case. That's a possibility too. If that's what you're doing, got to tell you, I don't know if that's a great idea. Because if the case doesn't settle to mediation, you're out all of those hourly wages for the attorney, but also you're not incentivizing the attorney with a percentage. So my concern is, what's their motivation beyond hoping to do good work for you? Sometimes it helps to have a motivated attorney, right? A zealot advocate, you're supposed to get that all the time, but assigning a percentage of a case to an attorney can sure help guarantee you get that zealous advocacy, right? But let's go back to the other scenario. So it looks like you're trying to hire an attorney, and for whatever reason, those attorneys perhaps are trying to get money up front. There are many firms in this country who do that. It's kind of a hybrid model. It's very common across all 50 states, although in many states there's still some options for pure contingency. I don't know if that's true in Houston. I can't say. I don't know the Texas market as closely as it appears you do, because you've been searching for an attorney there, right? If you can't afford an attorney, then I would recommend you hit up our mediation preparation playlist, because you're not going to have an attorney. If you can't afford an attorney, listen, there's no magic. There's no super easy way to make it happen. Whether it's a good idea or a bad idea, you're not going to have an attorney. So hit up that playlist, prepare yourself. You're going to do this yourself. If you have questions, and I noticed your question that you're originally asking is a little bit old. It's actually from June of 2025, so you may have already gone to mediation. But if you haven't, and if you have questions about mediation as you prepare, ask them on the channel. We'll try to answer them for you. If you have already gone to mediation, tell us how it went. Give us the results so we can talk about it and we can dissect what happened. Obviously, don't break confidentiality, right? If it's confidential, don't don't share, especially because you may have used your real name here, right? So yeah, it comes down to, I'm never going to tell somebody who says, hey, I can't afford an attorney, should I go forward without an attorney at this mediation? I'm never going to tell them, no, that's dumb. Because if you can't afford an attorney, the other option is you just don't bring your case. And I'd much rather see you bring your case, even if it is pro se, which, listen, being pro se, representing yourself in this field is generally, and I want to be clear about this, I've always said this, it's just engaging in self-harm. It's never a good idea. Pro se litigation, 1% success rate. And I don't know if that's a hard and fast number, but that's my feeling of what I've seen in my career. It's just such a dedicated way to wipe out these cases, wipe out the value of these cases, add risk, add just layers of complexity that don't help the case in any way. But again, bringing the case is better than not bringing the case. So if you're telling me, listen, I can't afford an attorney for this mediation, and I'll be upfront, mediation is the best place to be pro se of all the places you could possibly be in employment law. So yeah, I mean, listen, you got to do what you got to do. I understand it. I'm not going to call you a fool. If you don't have the funds for an attorney, you got to do it. Hit up that mediation preparation playlist, and I wish you luck, and we'll be here if we can help in some way. Take care.